Okay, call a meeting to order and pledge of allegiance. Line item B.
You have Dan on?
Oh. Is he on? Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did I go? No.
Okay. No public in attendance. Devin, anyone online?
We have one attendee online, but no hands at the moment. We'll give them another second here.
Okay.
All right, still seeing no hands. I think we're okay to proceed.
Okay, thanks. Go ahead. Item D, the minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the February 28th meeting.
So moved.
Any discussion or changes? Okay, all those in favor state by saying aye. Aye. D2, to approve the minutes from the March 2nd, 1928 Building Committee. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Any comments, changes? All those in favor state by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None. Correspondence, Kathy, Devin, Kat, do we have anything?
No.
None. Everyone? Okay. F, chair report. At this time, I have nothing new to report on the committee. I'll give a brief statement on the value engineering later in our reports. So Joe, town council, anything?
Just again, we went through a budget process. We completed everything. The warning was approved at our last meeting. We have a town council meeting coming up on April 3rd, Monday. And again, the warning does state for now, the bond is not to exceed $9 million. So hopefully we can go in with some reductions on that. If not, we're good to go.
Okay. Chris, FHS building.
Not much to report. The project is on schedule and on budget. We have a topping off ceremony tentatively scheduled for Saturday, May 13th at 9 o'clock. Not confirmed yet, but I'll update the committee when that is. And that's about it. But everything in the proof of the building project is up for your eyes to see and on the homepage. So go to the website and see how we're doing.
Thanks, Chris.
Mhm.
Architect report. I don't think we're going to do anything on that. There's nothing new to report on that.
Correct.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Communications subcommittee. Gene, Dan?
Yep. We just met and reviewed the explanatory text for the upcoming newsletter. We made a couple of minor changes to it, but the substance of it we thought was fine. And it's succinct and gives it very, very accurate notice of what they're voting on.
Okay, and that's on the projector. That is,
Yep. So this is going to be part of our overall newsletter. So on the council, April 3rd, they will be sending the projects to referendum. We have the budget, we have town roads, and we have the 1928 building. So this will be in what we call an explanatory text that will be part of it. It's very simple by law. We can't it has to be neutral. So basically it shows what the question is, what the project budget is, what the project tax impact is. It sends people back to our website, which has some of our financial information on it, and it has the two pictures. It is going to be part of, I think, a 6-page newsletter, which is going to be budget driven. It's going to talk about the budget. It's going to talk about the roads, and it's going to talk about the 1928. It's also going to have the key dates for the annual town meeting and the budget referendum.
And the only thing that are you showing, we asked to just have it tightened up just a little bit with the exclamation or the explanation of the per year amount that it affects the average household to add the 5 years.
so that projected tax impact, that's for that. What is
Yes.
it? $8.99.
It would just say
For
for
5
5 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
just so
All right.
they see what that means exactly.
Yeah, that was just a typo. That's what we have on our website. So,
Okay.
and I think that was a good catch for that.
All right. Anything else, from your last meeting?
The only
few
thing
minutes ago?
that maybe I wanted to talk about is everyone on their sheets, maybe going through upcoming events and things like that. So you guys could take this with you. And so this Thursday coming up, we're going to do another community presentation here at the town hall, council chambers. So if anyone can attend, we're going to just go through our presentation and people have questions. So that will be this Thursday at 6 p.m. here at the council chambers. Then Saturday, we're going to go to Starbucks again, and we're going to have coffee with the 1928 committee, 9 to 11 o'clock. So I know Peter's going to be there. Everyone who can attend, we'd ask you to come by from Starbucks this Saturday, 9 to 11. Then Monday, April 3rd, we have the town council meeting. Peter, myself, and Chris are going to do a brief presentation of our final budget, which we're going to talk about later on today, getting us to the council with the understanding that $16 million is our project budget. And so that will be Monday, April 3rd. Should be noted after that meeting, when it gets sent to warning and to referendum, we are in the blackout period. So what I'm suggesting at that point, unless Chris, our architect, says otherwise, that we cancel the April 11th building committee meeting. But again, if there's something in design or things like that, we could talk about. But if not, I don't think we need to have that meeting. The next meeting would be Monday, April 17th. That would be the town meeting. That's at the high school at 7 p.m., which would go through a presentation again on the 1928, and we'd go through the financial. Then April 25th on Tuesday, again, would be to cancel the 1928 building committee meeting and subcommittee meetings, again, unless Chris, the architect, said there were things that we need to do. Then the referendum vote is April 27th. That would be the vote. And then I would like to reschedule the May 9th meeting to May 2nd to be closer to after the referendum vote. Because once the referendum vote comes through, we would need to meet again. And so reschedule the May 9th meeting to May 2nd. And then we'd start, hopefully at that point, designing and moving forward with the second phase of the project. So those are our upcoming dates.
All right.
I don't know if you said, but this question is the third question on the
Ballot, yes.
A third down on the
Yeah.
ballot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we just discussed that. The coffee committee, if anyone wants to join me, and who's gonna be Devin?
And I'm
Okay.
gonna be there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be there. And so anyone else that wants to go, but the staff will be there. Yep.
Okay,
And just in the agenda, just so people don't get confused, we
Right.
were planning on going to Dunkin' Donuts, but we have decided not to do that, and we're gonna be going
To
to
Starbucks.
Okay. that's
instead.
perfect.
okay. All right, so then we'll jump to F6, the Value Engineering Subcommittee report. Our last meeting last Tuesday, we approved at least $474,000 worth of cuts. And maybe take a look at your agenda item G2, and you could see where we're at there. Yeah,
Could I suggest that maybe we go through the
Yeah.
other items? and
yeah,
then we'll
that's
get
what I
there?
was gonna
Yeah.
say. We'll bomb into that. So just a quick statement on that, and then we'll take a look at this momentarily. Okay. And now we'll just go into the financial report from Kathy.
So you have the financial report and the attachment. As you can see, our account balance is 76,742 on 314. We're doing the invoices for our architect. So that's where that's going. The other I anticipate another expenditure is going to be a portion of the newsletter that goes out, the explanatory text.
Okay.
And that's our financial, and we're in good shape with that. And I think our next item actually is to approve those items.
Exactly. So G1. So then I need a motion to approve the invoice from Silver and Petroselli for $2,025.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, any comments, conversation? Okay, all those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, G2, to approve the value engineering list and recommend a three-phase approach. So take a look, pull out agenda G2 from our value engineering meeting last week. The subcommittee approved the $474,047 on that to cut from the project initially. And then we have a couple of their plans that we want to do. And Kathy, want to go into detail and explain that?
So the committee met, and if you look at the attachment, we thought about having a three-phase approach as follows, is that the first phase is to approve the attached VE list to reduce the estimated project cost by $474,047. So on agenda item G2, the second page, this would be removed from the project scope. And so these are items that we've talked about. There's 9 items there. It's some to eliminate some windows, an alternate lighting package, some power distribution, some possible HVAC savings, a scoreboard in the multi-purpose. I don't even know how to say that next word, but something with the tape, reduce the quality of some ceiling tile, and reduce the lobby size. And the number 9 is site work to be shifted to the high school project. So the total estimated value is $391,775. And then there's some design contingency and owners, which brings us to a total reduction of $474,047. So the value engineering group is recommending to the full committee that gets eliminated from the project completely. Then the next thing that we talked about is that identify items for possible additional cost savings is needed. So the VE subcommittee identified 4 additional items that may be removed from the project in the event that the bids come in over the project budget. So these would not be alternates. These would just be suggestions that we have kind of in our back pocket that we've talked about, that if for some reason the bids come way over what is expected, these are the items that this group has thought about. And the first set of items, I think, is the idea was it's not really hurting the overall project scope, the look of the building, the scope. These now, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, you are making some changes in project scope. And so we're hopeful that we won't have to do that. But as you know, the council had asked us to be prepared for that. You know, you have a $16 million budget, that's what your budget is. And if it does come over budget, what would you do? And the committee basically felt strongly that they don't want to add it as add alternates, because that implies that that we're not doing it unless this is, if the budget comes in at the $16 million or less, these would still be included. But number 10 is the stucco restoration. It would simplify the historic reconstruction of the stairs, install rubber sports floor at the multi-purpose in lieu of the wood floor, and defer the cupola. And I think these items the group picked because they're easy, I think, to do them as an add alternate later on. You could just defer, you could do the stucco, you could do the cupola. They could be capital projects later on if they needed to. But obviously they changed the scope of what the building would look like. And the VE committee doesn't want to do that, but understands that if the budget's too high, these would be items that we'd look at first.
What was the total amount that we needed to try and hit?
We needed to hit
16.
we need to hit 16 million, and I think we wrote it somewhere, Devin, right? That was
Yep.
something where was that?
Should be on the next page. We were at 597,919.
Yeah, I think we're like
15.
40 grand
Yeah.
off or 50 grand off right now.
Well, it would just be the difference.
Yeah.
No, it's a little bit more than that.
Six.
123.
That's it. Okay, right.
So because we're not at the 16 million with our cuts, then the committee talked about that our third approach, which is our third phase approach, is that as the design goes through the process, there could the design development process, there are examples of savings that may be included that we could look at and we will look at as it's designed. For example, materials, the flooring, the parking lot design. Could we do something with town staff instead of with the contract? So I think what the overall presentation. And the thought is that it's a three-phase approach. One is that the committee understands that we have a $16 million budget. We've cut almost to 16 million, but we're not at 16 million. And the reason why we're not at 16 million is because we feel that the budget's tight and that if we go any lower, we're going to start really looking at, it's going to go into the project scope and the look of the building and things like that, which we don't want to do. But we are prepared. We have the 4 additional items that would definitely get us down, get us there if we needed to. And we're hoping that we don't have to even do that because during the value engineering space, during the design, if our project is higher, we're still going to be continually looking for savings. And if we can have Mike Walsh had a bunch of different ideas for us that when we go through the design, if we have to, and materials, furniture, different things that we can look at that point. So
Yeah.
I think if that's what summarizing the VE, but if anyone wants to add anything to that.
No, that was excellent summary. Any discussion? Any,
I just.
go ahead, Gene.
I mean, I've been on a few building committees and we've found money during the process. I'd like to focus in on that if, in the presentation that we made to the council. I just want to say I have a huge problem with 10 through 13. I'd like to avoid those.
So would we?
Yeah, yeah, I think I'd rather say we'll find it in materials and other things like that. The cupola, the exterior, all of those. I get where you were coming from. I just want to say it out loud. I hope we can find it in other ways.
Well,
Yeah. And items 10 and 13 are items that will need to be done no matter what, whether it's as part of this project or after this project.
I have an even bigger problem with that.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask, I mean, none of these, even though 10 through 13, I mean, in the short term, they don't affect structural integrity or issues. They're cosmetic and we can push them off,
Correct.
but
Correct.
they need to be done. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay. No, I just want to make sure that.
they could end up becoming capital
Yeah,
projects.
yeah, no, I just want to make sure in the short term, we're not compromising structural integrity with like the stucco restoration. Is that going to cause more problems if we don't do it? You know, I'm worried about
Right,
that.
right. Because the capital projects, as we all know.
Yeah.
Tend to get pushed out.
and Gene, I think that's going to kind of be an important point at the council meeting, because like we didn't really make the 16 million that the council asked us. We're still 132,000 short. And I think the point is that we didn't go 132 because we really feel strongly that the budget, then you'd start really going into the project scope. And if you're going to renovate it, you want to do the cupola, you want to do these things. But that said, that in the materials and supplies and the different things, we think we can come up with the 132, but we're ready. And I think that's what the council wants to hear, that we all understand that we have a $16 million budget and we're not going to go back
Looking for money.
and looking for more money.
No, and I respect all of the work that's been done.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of hard work's been done. And I would just like to focus in on keeping the prices down to get to the 123, whatever it was, during the process of
Yes.
what we're ordering, what we're using, and things like that, before we go this direction. Right.
Yeah, we hope so. We hope we don't have to get into any of this.
That's why we're kind of calling it the three-phase approach.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a big mistake to burn the cupola.
Okay, any more discussion on this? On these cuts?
I'm sorry to be the only one, but number 9, I'm assuming that was an agreement between you, the committee, subcommittee, and the high school.
Yes, Russ and Chris had some discussions.
Site work.
The site work.
It's really a clarification.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's they're items that were in duplicity, that were already included in the high school project.
Okay,
But when we looked at the estimate for the 1928 building, we assumed we were doing all of the site work, and through the meetings with the high school team, we clarified that value of 186,000 of the 1928 site package is already covered by the high school project. It's not adding cost to the high school project, I think, is the clarification.
okay, and I think when we present it to the council, if we could read, it says it's shifted to the high school.
Yes,
project, but there could be a better way to.
I agree,
to
yeah.
Say that,
Mhm.
other than we're adding on to the high school project, we're expecting them to take something
You-
on there.
Correct.
You could just say duplicate site work removed.
Yep.
That would
Something
be
like that.
much.
Site work originally included in high school,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
That's much better.
Yeah, it would fall under their project. under their dollars.
Thank you.
Dan, anything?
Oh, that looks good.
All right, then we have I need a motion for this, please, for G2.
Motion.
Second.
I'll second it.
Okay, any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor state by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? None, motion passes. Yeah. And I'll just say, again, this Saturday, we will be at Starbucks at 9 o'clock till 11 o'clock. So, I encourage any members, please show up.
And Thursday
And
here.
Thursday, we are doing another presentation on the project for the public. So please, if anyone's out there listening or watching, please stop by Thursday night at 6 o'clock here or come down to Starbucks on Saturday at 9 to 11.
And the only other item, Peter, is if I could have a motion to cancel the April 11th meeting
Okay.
And 22nd.
and then 22nd.
Okay, so can I have a motion, please, to cancel, what was it, April, yep, 11th and
The 25th.
25th.
Actually, if I could do it,
All right.
we'll cancel the April 11th, the April 22nd, and reschedule the May 9th to May 2nd.
I'll second that. Okay, all those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we there, Kathy?
Yep, we're there.
Okay, all I need is a motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Second, please.
Second.
All right, all those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.